In the first scene of the movie, we see a man running in the forest, trying to escape from a group of psychotic killers who are after him. Despite his attempts to flee, they catch up to him, and one of them kills him with a large axe. The scene changes, and we see an expressway where the main characters of our story, a young man and woman deeply in love, are planning to go to a recreational spot for their wedding anniversary. The mischievous girl distracts the boy with a lovely kiss while he is driving, causing him to lose focus and almost crash. We then realize that the boy, whose name is Ryan, has asthma, and Maya gives him a spray to help with his sudden shortness of breath due to the unexpected events and shocks. They stop at a roadside restaurant to eat and take a break. When they enter, the staff behaves oddly, with everyone staring at them. As they finish their meal and are about to leave, they notice a missing person advertisement with a picture of the same person who was brutally murdered at the beginning of the film. As Ryan and Maya get into their car, they realize that it won't start and the lights won't turn on. Suddenly, someone appears in front of the car window and says they are mechanics and that it seems their car needs a repair. After inspecting it, he informs them that the problem is with the car's alternator and he doesn't have the part right now. He promises to bring it first thing tomorrow and deliver it to them in the afternoon. This leads them to stay in this neighborhood overnight due to the car trouble, an act of unexpected kindness from a strange waitress who works there and convinces them to accept her offer, and she informs them about someone who rents houses in the middle of the forest nearby. At first, Ryan doubts the intentions, suspecting a scam to ambush and rob them. But Maya disagrees, believing that everything is fine and that these are kind people. "Are you kidding me, Maya? These peoples are nuts and everything is suspicious. I'm agreed with Ryan, and when everything seems right, you must doubt because there has to be some intentions." However, our kind waitress brings them to their destination, saying her house is in the vicinity, and then leaves. From here on, the horrific show is about to begin. They enter the cabin and try to stay there to enjoy with their time. They grab a few drinks from the fridge and outside the cabin, hangouts together and start kissing in the middle of it. When they become very lustful just in the middle of foreplay, someone knocks on the cabin door, and when they go to see who it is, they find a girl whose face is not visible and is in the dark. She asks them for help, but when they don't accept, she leaves. They are amazed by the behavior of this strange girl, and then they calm down a bit and rest together. But then Ryan needs his spray, and Maya tells him that she forgot to bring the spray and put it in his bag, which she left in the car. And Ryan says there is a motorcycle outside, and he will ride it to get the spray for himself and bring it back very soon, and leaves the cabin. During this time, Maya has a video call with her friend, but suddenly the doorbell rings again, and from the peephole, Maya notices the same strange girl again asking for help, but she refuses to open the door. At that moment, it seems like someone is inside the cabin and suddenly passes quietly. As Maya has been busy searching in different parts of the cabin, she hears strange noises from outside and inside the cabin, and out of fear, she calls Ryan, but he doesn't respond. Then Ryan arrives to his car, and as he goes to get the spray, the same strange mechanic appears behind him like a demon and says, "You should have let me know, as I think you are a thief and trying to steal the car, and I may hit you." Ryan apologizes and leaves. Maya then sees a piano and starts playing it, but for a moment she feels the presence of someone else in the cabin. Her feels right because we sees a man in the mirror wearing a sack mask, but as she turns around to see who it is, she doesn't see anyone. Meanwhile, Ryan, while outside, orders 2 hamburgers to bring back for dinner. When Maya goes to take a shower, just as she was showering for a moment, that same person with the masked face looks at her, but by the time Maya notices, the person is gone. After Maya had been drying her hair, suddenly the power goes out in the whole cabin and everything goes dark. Using her phone's flashlight, Maya tries to move around, and as she looks everywhere, she hears footsteps. She goes towards the sound, but sees nothing. Suddenly, she drops her phone, but when she picks it up, she sees a woman next to her wearing a cartoon mask. Terrified, she runs and shuts the door in front of her. Suddenly, she hears someone approaching the door, and Maya is very scared. But when the door opens, she sees her husband Ryan and runs into his arms. She tells him, "While you were gone, I saw someone in the house wearing a mask, and I ran away, but didn't see them again." At that moment, someone knocks on the door again, and when they reach the door, they see no one. But on the other side of the cabin, they see the same strange girl. Ryan chases her and tells her, "Don't ever come around here again." They return to the house and start eating burgers. Suddenly, they notice blood dripping from above. When they look up, they see a bird hanging from the ceiling, killed with a knife. They are scared, and as they start to move, they hear someone breaking the door with an axe. The person is none other than the same psychopathic killer they saw at the beginning of the movie, wearing a burlap mask. They lock themselves in a room out of fear and place a heavy object behind the door. Another one of them, a woman, comes in and plays the piano for a bit. The psychopathic killer with the axe breaks the door a little and looks at them through the gap, then leaves again. Seeing this as their chance, Maya and Ryan decide to escape on a motorcycle when they feel like no one is in the cabin. But as they approach the motorcycle, it explodes and catches fire. They are forced to return to the cabin because the psychotic killer with the burlap mask is after them. They hide in one spot and through a peephole see two of these people outside. They realize there are actually three of them, two women and one man. Maya and Ryan try to move through the ventilation duct to escape, but suddenly a large nail pierces Maya's hand. Maya's scream alerts one of them, but she can't locate them because Maya and Ryan stay silent. Ryan painstakingly removes the nail from Maya's hand, and Maya tries not to scream from the pain. They manage to exit the cabin from the back through the duct. They enter a barn to find a weapon or something to defend themselves, unaware that one of them is already inside the barn, standing still. Ryan goes to search the upper part of the barn, leaving Maya alone. At that moment, an attack comes through the window, and they try to grab her. Ryan comes back with a weapon and saves her. They continue their way through the forest, trying to stay alert. However, one of them spots them from a distance through the trees. Behind the cabin, Ryan thinks he has caught one of them and shoots from behind, unaware that he has shot an innocent person who had come to the cabin with a car. They take the car keys from the man's clothes and get into the car. As soon as they start the car and Maya tries to call the police, the window next to her shatters and they are attacking. The leader of the group gets into a car and repeatedly rams Ryan's car. At this moment, Ryan tells Maya to run and save herself because his leg is stuck. Suddenly he was attacked by the psychotic killer but managed to shoot him and makes him run away, and finally he frees his leg and gets out of the car. Maya, now fleeing through the forest and forced to hide among the bushes and leaves, staying silent out of fear so that they can't notice her presence. She tries to call the police but sees a corpse next to her, and out of fear, she cannot give the police the correct location. She gets up and starts running through the forest again when she suddenly encounters one of them. She managed to knock her out with a blow to the head and dragged her away. The psychotic killer with the axe is searching for Ryan in the middle of the forest, but Ryan hides and watches carefully. As Ryan moves through the forest with his weapon, he notices one of them, a woman, and stops her from behind with his gun, taking her knife. However, Ryan is too foolish and doesn't kill her. At that moment, the main killer with the axe appears and knocks Ryan out from behind. In the next scene, both Ryan and Maya regain consciousness to find themselves tied to chairs, unable to do anything. They cry and don't know what to do. The psychotic killer comes and stabs Ryan in the stomach. All three killers then reveal themselves in front of them. As Ryan suffers in pain, they throw him to the ground, likely leaving him to die from severe blood loss. The psychotic killer then stands over Maya. Despite Maya's pleas for mercy, he stabs her in the stomach as well and throws her to the ground. At that moment, the sound of police sirens is heard. The three killers calmly and coolly leave the area. Both Ryan and Maya are unconscious, and it's unclear whether they are alive or dead. The police likely enter the cabin. In the final scene, Maya is seen alone on a hospital bed, just regaining consciousness. There's no information about Ryan's fate, whether he is dead or alive, and that is the end of the first part of the movie.